side right now. It's NBT Sky. So I had a random thought. The creative mind. The creative mind cannot be stolen in reality, and it cannot be blackballed. And I'm going to tell you why. If one is trying to steal one's creativity or ability to create or something that has been created, they are not the creator still. And so they still become the slave of the one that created. It's that simple. People have to look at things from a different perspective. The creative mind cannot be stolen from any individual. It's given, it's yours, you do as you will with it. So if one steals the creative mind, does that make the one that stole the creative mind, or does that make the creative mind in power? It makes the creative mind in power. The creative mind must not melt down. They can't melt down to the idea of being stolen. If you're trying to steal my creative idea, my creative power, is because I have more power to you to begin with. So with that being said, it just represents a glitch in the matrix. And so you create again. And you learn from that. Period. No grudges held. No animosity held. But you simply recreate and find the glitches in that matrix first. The creative mind cannot be stolen. No individual's creative mind can be stolen in real life. And I'm going to say this again. If I create something, or I find a niche somewhere, and you stole it, you lack the ability to create. You a thief. And so I still have power. My voice still has power. My mind still has power, and my creativity still has power, even over you, because without it, you don't even exist. So therefore, I still hold power over you, low key. The key in the situation is not to get stuck in the glitz, glamour, and money of it all, but to understand that the thief of the creativity, it was stolen because they couldn't create it. And so the universe is going to tell you that you have the ability to create something else that they cannot steal. It's about taking the time out to figure out how they snatched it in the first place. Then you can create again, and they can't even snatch it. This creates, said competition. And so competition only exists if you acknowledge it. It's that simple. Being poor only exists if you acknowledge it. Being rich only exists if you acknowledge it. And the reason I'm saying this is because people got to understand how the mind actually works. So when we looking at things, we think we're seeing things forward. The mind sees things forward. Does not see things forward. I'm trying to explain this in a way that y'all can understand. If you see something up, the mind actually sees it in the opposite direction. So you have to understand how this goes. The stealing of the mind, is it possible to a certain extent? The stealing of thoughts, ideas, creativity, reality, spiritual powers, or spiritual abilities. These things do exist to those who are null and void to it. When you are aware that these are the things that's, people are trying to steal, or entities are trying to steal, or, these big things are trying to steal, the natural mind is going to raise above it. And this is why I made the previous post stating, even talking about algorithm and how algorithm works and how natural vibration works and how algorithm tries to tap into natural vibration and determine what's natural and what's not. At the end of the day, the creative mind cannot be stolen. If the outcome of the creative mind is stolen, it's just a simple glitch. We don't get mad. We don't get angry. We don't get frustrated. We don't hate. We look for the glitch and create again. It's that simple. And it's not about just, oh, I'm going to just lay down and let you walk all over me. It's not that. In order to master the opponent, you have to respect if you got snatched. If somebody snatched me, I'm not mad at you. I'm simply trying to figure out how you snatched me so it cannot happen again. It's that simple. And in order to do that, you have to be willing to take the L sometimes. The L brings gain. People fear the L, and this is why there's so many, let's say, the wealthy that have power. What people don't understand is, okay, I can give you a Lamborghini. I can give you a mini mansion. I can give you infinity views, infinity likes, infinity subscribers, infinity money. And I'm controlling you. So I'm controlling how you spend it. I'm controlling you. You're still going to give it back. This is what they know that you don't know. You're still going to give it back. Period. I like name brand stuff. Don't get it twisted. I'm guilty of gaining and giving something back, but I still give back to my people one way or the other, whether they like it or not. One way or the other. The thing is, the stealing of creative properties. The stealing, and this goes all the way down to names. This goes all the way down to names. It goes down to brands. It goes down to logos. It goes down to these things. They're going to let you create to a certain extent, and then they want control. The idea and concept is, how do you release yourself from that? This is something that we all battle without even knowing that we battle it. In order to figure that out, you have to understand what it is that they own and they control. Right now, it's technology. If you can't own the technology, then you have to learn to master the technology. And I don't know how to explain that in a better way. If they cannot own you with the technology, then you have to learn how to master the technology so that they cannot control you with the technology. That's all I'm saying. It's that simple. And in order to do that, you have to be able to still tap into the natural elements of the universe. The air, the water, the fire, the earth. You still have to acknowledge those things. Those are things that were naturally given to us that's been tampered with. So I'm going to use an example. We can heal ourselves with natural elements. It takes a little bit longer sometimes. We can also heal ourselves with, tampered with elements that work a little bit faster. Finding a happy medium is being able to tap into both. Tapping into both requires us to tap into it with an openness. And those who have power have not come to respect the openness, and this is why this is becoming a problem altogether. When we reach an ability to heal with technology, it has to still include the heart. It has to be for all. It has to be free. Once it comes with cost, it's not valid. It didn't come from the heart, and still it brings in that, it creeps in that control factor. This is the problem. If I can heal you with my technology, let's say me as for an example. If I had access to said technology or certain technologies that can heal everybody on the planet, I'm simply healing everybody on the planet. And that's that. When you start having access to technologies and can heal everybody on the planet and it comes with a cost, then you're trying to control indirectly, and that's not respected. And that's what people have to think about. Is people running around here being controlled by technology and don't even realize it. And that's the thing that's funny. It should not come with a cost. The reason why is because once it comes with a cost, we are unable to elevate to the next levels. So what they do is they create these technologies, these nanos, these algorithms, so on and so forth. They have the power to heal, the power to make all go away. And they use that to pick and choose who can stay and who can go. And therefore, is another control mechanism, and it should not be respected as a collective. Period. Because then they are playing, when we playing the roles of gods in the physical, that's speaking of our ability to create in our own reality. When people tamper into that and try to stop us from being able to create into our own reality, they're wrong. All realities don't consist of a wife at that time. All realities don't consist of a husband at that time. All realities don't consist of children at that time. Not saying that the foundation is not mandatory, but it doesn't consist of it at the time. You have no right to push the issue. And people have to understand that. When they try to take the independence in this particular society away from a woman or away from a man, they're in violation. They have to respect that the environment is different. It's different. And so in certain circumstances, the feminine energy has to tap into both the feminine and the masculine energy to create balance so that they can move forward and bring in that masculine energy and vice versa. The end of the day is there's certain things that's being violated, whether people are knowing or not knowing, that should not be violated. Everybody came to the planet to have their own experience, and that's the problem. Every one of us came here to have our own experience, right, wrong, and indifferent. And those experiences are supposed to bring us to a position of being greater beings. When you try to stop an individual from being greater beings, it just displays your weakness. It's not displaying my weakness, it's displaying your weakness. Period. Because those who understand power and lack of weakness is not going to try to stop or deprive. Period. And this is why I say this. Now, I know most people are not going to understand what I'm trying to say, and that's okay. So it's for those who understand. Even when it comes to our spiritual gifts, those are ours. They can try to take it all they want, but they can't. And in every system, there's people that's going to raise to a higher elevation and have these spiritual gifts, and there's no man or no woman's right to take them. Period. Or even try to snatch them or tamper with them or steal them or block them from them or none of that. None of that. Unless they're being misused. And even when they're being misused, we have no right to tamper with it because the universe is going to deal with it accordingly. People do not have faith in the universe. And so, therefore, they don't understand that balance is going to be brought into place. And this is why, and people could try to, reject. But I always ask for balance, regardless. Real is going to recognize real. Period. The real is going to do whatever they do, and they're going to deal with the consequences that the universe brings. The fake is going to do whatever they're going to do, and they're going to try to switch out and try to duck the consequences that the universe is going to bring. And so, therefore, we're going to know who the real is and who is not. It's just that simple. It's not hard. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I got Georgia's request. I got another request. So I'm going to look into it. Deuces.